we'll only have one bottle this evening. Bottle look like that.
It's 3 liter or 5 liter?
It's
5.
that one is 5
liter. 3 and 5.
Yes.
So all the wines are not here?
No. This the ones with the included labels. See, this is our commercial side of production. And ones of this shelf over here. This is our only one. So a lot of it is our this used to be our summer price. And in 2018 we created the wine shop.
So you supply it around the world?
Not around the world, but all the markets. The UAE Chinese market. It's 5 or 6. Haven't tried Chacha? It means uncle, yeah? In Indian language. Chacha and Chachi. I'm already speaking several languages. Grapes. Yes. It's so, grape skins. You're right. You already have information about Georgian drinks. Yeah? Chacha is a strong variety of the drink. It's a drink to warm up and then do funny stuff.
Oh, okay.
3 shots of cha-cha, dancing cha-cha-cha without reasons. Yeah, it usually happens. I'll bring some snacks for the cha-cha. Yes, and we can
Grapes.
Anyone is a strong, heavy drinker, I can do the full one.
Oh yeah.
So.
You are a wine person, right?
Yeah.
Or in America. In Georgia, it's totally different.
Yeah.
We don't say tagay, we don't say kampai, we don't say salut, we say gaumarjos. But it's not like that. We just don't say it together. It's much more fun because usually Georgians like to show off that they're having jos. Then you take it as a shot, okay?
Okay.
And if it seems strong for anyone, in Georgia we don't have lime and salt after like tequila shot. It's jonjoli and bread. Jonjoli, it's pickled flowers.
Okay.
On the taste, it's like capers. So it's sour, so it takes the aftertaste on its own way. It must be on top of your lungs. Or we're gonna do it and drink it until we do it right, okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah. Go, man!
Go!
Go, man! Go! Man! Go!
But it's
It's warming up, yeah. 80%, yeah. Yes. Some people even put in their cars and run it because gas prices are really high. Cha-cha is made here. This is cha-cha. And what the cha-cha is made of, I'll show you a little bit later inside the wine cellar. This is Kakhetian version of the cha-cha maker. Kakheti is the part of the region of Georgia where we are right now. And this jar and this fireplace play one of the main roles in the making of cha-cha. So cha-cha, it's remains of the grapes, if you translate the name. It means material, wine material, that was at first used, so the grapes, which were crushed and used for the winemaking process at first, and then already used for distillation. So, or 40 kilos of the remains of the grape, which are used already for winemaking, we bring this to this jar. We add the same amount of the juice that came out of this grapes. We close it hermetically by the baking flour that is used for this bread. a little bit of water, so it's vacuum sealed and no steam is coming outside. And start the fire from here. It starts boiling, and this juice and the stems and the remains start to become into the vapor. Yeah. It starts coming through this tube, also dramatically close, distillation process, and then enters the cold circulating water here. This is not chacha, of course. Chacha goes through the hole here, and when the steam cools down, what happens? It comes into the liquid once again. So full distillation process, then condensation process, and as a result, after one distillation round, we get 50% of alcohol. Do it second time, 65, 70, third time, 80, fourth time, of course quantity is getting less and less, but the percentage of alcohol is going up and up. Did anyone didn't try? Would you like to try some chacha, sir? Yeah. Start is much stronger. It's like the pure alcohol, which is 65%, but on the taste it's burning very much. So we cut the start, and we give it to our neighbors. They dissolve it with distilled water, and they have a lot of 50% chacha. But we use the middle, which is like pure spirit of the grape, which is the #1 cure, by the way, for the hangover in Georgia. If you have a hangover, no one drinks hangover pills or something. It's chacha and khvanchkara, which is a very popular combination. Okay, now let's go and try some different varieties of the wines. Let's do all. Okay, great.
Don't give all this.
No. I mean,
Don't actually give
let's try 7, 8 different varieties of the wines, and let's see who walks out of here and who crawls out of here. Okay, I'm joking, of course. Let's do this small amount for every glass. So, as the degustation usually goes. So the first chacha that we tried outside, this was made from white variety of the grapes, which is called the Kakheti. Let's see, after the shot of chacha, where do you think we are on the Georgian method?
Somewhere in the Georgia, definitely.
Somewhere in Georgia.
Definitely.
Kakheti. Yeah, you're right.
Kakheti.
This one is biggest part of Georgia, Kakheti region, where till this day the most alcoholic people still live here, Georgian people, because 65% of homemade and commercial winemaking is produced here. Most of the bottles are produced here, and most of the grapes grow here. So these colorful titles, these are the names of different regions and different parts of Georgia, and the small title, this is already names of different varieties of the grapes. Okay, so the first wine and the first chacha that we tried is made from the same grape called Kakheti, white variety of the grape, which outside was 50% of alcohol. Here it's going to be 11% of alcohol. I'll take off my coat if it's okay. This is white dry, very light, and the wine that is consumed the most yearly in Georgia. I'll tell you why. Let's pour forever. Hard to pronounce, I know. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on, guys.
So here are two.
Yeah, okay, still left for me, yeah? No, I'm okay with drinking.
Otherwise, who will let us drink?
We'll find someone, that's not a problem. Okay, so we don't chout joss on every glass, you can call me start sipping and trying. This is very light variety of the white dry wine, which is 11% of alcohol, and which is shortest period of time of reserve in the traditional material like this, which is called khveri. Okay, khveri is the traditional Georgian material for fermenting wine, and this wine was fermented inside the clay for 9 months. That's why it's so light. That's why it doesn't have any intense flavors. But this is light, easy to drink. Serve it very cold. You can drink a couple of bottles of this wine without a problem. And for Georgian men who drink not with the glasses like this, but for example with the glasses like this, this is the best option, but best type of the wine. And why? Of course, more you drink, more hangover you're gonna have, but your hangover depends a little bit on more than just quantity of the drinks that you have. It mostly depends on sweetness, amount of sweetness that the alcoholic drink that you're having contains. So with the things like this, khanzi, which is eventually a shot glass, because it's mandatory for men if you're given khanzi at the traditional table, full one, you have to say toast and drink it fully with 1 sip. This is 1.1 liter, okay? So with the things like this, clever Georgian men who think about their next morning, not just the evening, drink wine like this. If you drink, for example, semi-sweet wine, with the horn like this, even though that semi-sweet wines contain natural sweetness of the grape, you're still either going to change your religion next moment because of a terrible hangover, your gut's not going to help you, or you're going to need the help of ambulance. Yeah, because this balance of sugar, sweetness, natural sweetness in body, and dehydration is the worst possible combination for the hangover. Yeah, plus headache, dizziness, and so on. So with the things like this, and don't think that it's just a joke or something, it's oftenly used. Game of Thrones, yeah, Vikings, but that's the props there. Yeah, here you have to, for men it's mandatory, for females of course you can choose if you want to drink, but no one will push you to drink it fully. If you're not able to drink it fully, that's like a yellow card, then you have to drink more, so it's better you don't volunteer if you know that you're not able to drink. Okay, if anyone doesn't want to finish the drink that you have right now, you can just pour it in here. Sweet wines, don't drink homemade semi-sweet wines. If you don't know exactly who made this wine and you don't know that it's exactly natural process of fermentation. And why? Because it may be dry wine with sugar. Okay, so even natural sweetness of the grapes gives you terrible hangover. Additional sweetness like sugar or honey to the wine gives you much worse hangover. That's why commercially, as the company, if you use any type of sweet material except grapes own sweetness, it's strictly against the law. It's jail time from 2 years and up. So all the wine companies, registered wine companies in Georgia that produce wine, they're not able to use any type of sweet material. Only grapes own sweetness, okay? So with this wines, in homemade situation, that's why I told you not to drink it mostly, because it's not restricted. Anyone can add honey, sugar, or anything in homemade use. But in commercial use, it's very strict. And this wine, by the way, this was my favorite wine as a child growing up in Georgia. Let's not discuss the legal age terms of drinking, but I think you will understand why. Very fruity, very light, very smooth, plus percentage is also very light, 11%. Wine which is very popular in Georgia and not coming from the region of Kakheti, but coming from the smallest region of Georgia called Lechumi over here, purple region. And it's made from not the grapes of Trishi, but it's made from the grapes of Soligauri. So what happens here and why this wine is named not after the grape, I'll tell you after the sweetness you will feel. So by the temperature you can usually play a big role in the taste of the sweetness of the wine. So this is 11% once again. Very popular white semi-sweet wine produced in Georgia. And what it's named of, it's a village. It's a microclimate zone located in the region of Lechumi. In Georgia, we have 24 villages, which are counted as geographical trademarks, like Champagne. For example, what's Champagne? It's sparkling wine produced in the province of Champagne. Yeah? Only if you produce your sparkling wine from the grapes growing in Champagne, you can call it Champagne. Same about brandy, cognac. Yeah? It's brandy produced in cognac. Same about Trishi. If your grapes don't grow in the village of Trishi, you're not allowed to call it Trishi. So this place makes, of course, value of the grape much higher compared to the average, because this grape, which we use for this wine, as I told you, grows here, but it also grows here, in one of the biggest parts of Georgia, it also grows here. So you can make this wine only from the grapes growing in the village of Trishi in this region. Okay? Who likes rose wine?
Me.
You. Okay, everyone likes rose wine. At first, how do you think you get the rose color and give it to your wine? Pink color. It's pink coloring. Yeah? It's a natural coloring that we use a lot in the winemaking process. I'm joking, of course. It's not roses. It's not pink coloring. Of course, not things that are against the law. Yeah. There's a couple of grapes which are pink eventually, but the juice of them are still white. It's not the variety of the grape. It's a couple of processes, technologies which you can use to make rose wine. First, easiest, most logical, mix red and white. Yeah? And get rose color. Yeah? It's one of the most cheap ways, and if you see rose wines for 10 lari, 15 lari in Georgia, that's that. Okay, it's gonna be that. Another way is that the color of the wine, how dark your wine is going to be, depends on how long your skins and the juice are together. Okay? Thing is, after you crush the grapes, you have the grapes, yeah? You crush it, and after the crushing process, you have the juice, which is mostly used for the winemaking process, and the skins, yeah? The skins you either straight away use it for cha-cha, yeah? Or you mix it with this juice, and longer time this juice and this leftovers are together, darker color your wine is going to have. For example, you see this bottle is also transparent, yeah? You see how dark this wine is? Yeah. This wine and this wine are same grape. Same grape of Saperavi here, same grape of
Only
Saperavi.
difference of time.
So this one had contact with the skins for 1 month, this one had contact with the skins for 48 hours. So you get the pink color like this. Mostly it's marketing, the color, yeah, because at first eye looks at the bottle and then the taste, yeah. That's why the bottle is transparent. Mostly all the bottles are dark, yeah, because light and the oxygen and a couple of things are enemies of your wine. That's why most of the bottles that you see are dark, yeah, the wine bottles. But the places where marketing is a little bit more important than the shelf life of the bottle, it's that. Mostly with the roses or amber wines like this with the different unique color and something like that. This wine is semi-dry, not dry as the first one, not semi-sweet as the second one. It's semi-dry, in between of semi-sweet and dry, which is 12% of alcohol. And this is most sold bottle in the summertime always, because coldest wine to be served, the best one, like very cold. And even this is rose.
Summer, basically.
Summer, basically summer type of the wine. Which people will tell you that you drink only dry wine and all the other wines is lemonade for girls. Don't listen to that, because statistically 65% of the world drink semi-sweets. That's why in Georgia we produce a lot of dry wines, we produce a lot of semi-sweet wines. And plus we also produce dessert types of the wines. We are unfortunately out of the storage. But don't worry, we're going to try many interesting. Okay, what do you think? Let's do one red dry, or should we start from the semi-sweet straight away? We can try a lot of semi-sweets still. Semi-sweets?
Yeah.
So this was dry, this was semi-sweet, this was semi-dry. Let's do semi-sweet. Let's continue semi-sweet. Okay. Now let's try. Maybe someone has tried it. Khvanchkara. No? No.
It's a premium wine.
This is all of them are premium, to tell the truth, because all of them are made from the high quality sorts of the grapes growing in very important parts of Georgia. This one is most sold bottle yearly, called Khvanchkara, named after the village as the second bottle. But this one is already located in the region of Kakheti. Yeah, I wanted to remember some stuff, yeah, so you don't only remember the drinking memories, or you can get back. Yeah. So Kakheti. Khvanchkara is a village in Kakheti where the same sort of the grape as the previous one grows. Saperavi. So we also use Saperavi for this wine. The grape which is used for this wine is Saperavi, but it's named after the village because it's a special place. Soil itself of this village, climate of this village plays a big role in the taste of this grape. That's why it's named after the grape. Once again, like champagne and cognac. Yeah. So this one is 11% of alcohol. Now let's start from you. Not one of them, but the best seller, because most of the people, their favorite taste in the wine flavor is sweetness.
Yeah.
This wine, the main flavor of this wine is sweetness. Start is sweet, middle is sweet, aftertaste is sweet. So that's the point. If you like sweet taste, this is gonna be your favorite. But there's a lot of people that don't like sweet taste, and maybe after a couple of glasses of this one, it gets a little bit boring. I'm not talking about myself. I am. I mostly drink dries, for example, but this one, a couple of glasses, maybe it gets a little bit boring after, because it's sweet, and sweet. For that option, we have one more interesting wine made from the same grape of previous Saperavi. Saperavi, not growing in the village of Khvanchkara only, but growing in the village we got, red semi-sweet. You've tried it, this one? Or? Okay, so for me, even though it's the same grape, okay, Saperavi grape here and here, same process, exactly the same process, fermented in stainless steel, same amount of time, same temperature, everything is the same. Grape is the same, process is the same. What may make a difference between these two bottles? If process is the same and the grape is the same.
Time.
Time is the same.
But then why does it mention 2018 and 2021?
Harvest year? Not really.
No.
Season.
Process is the same, grape is the same.
Season.
It's the same, not the season. Like the names will tell you.
How you crush it?
10 months. It's a place.
Place. Yeah. Place plays it one of the biggest roles. So if it grows in a freezing place, it tastes totally different. If it grows in a warm place, it tastes totally different. So Saperavi, the interesting part is that these two villages where we grow the same grape of Saperavi, distance between those two are 25 kilometers, which are like a 40-minute drive, nothing even more. This is Kakheti, once again. This is Alazani River, biggest river in Kakheti region. On the right side of Alazani we have Kinzmarauli. On the left bank of Alazani River we have village of Akhasheni. This wine tastes totally different, both of them. If in the previous one start, middle and aftertaste is sweet, here it's sweet start. You wait for 3-4 seconds. It turns sour, has sour taste. And another 3-4 seconds and it's gonna be semi-dry or even drier than this. So sweet, sour and dry. Even though that's the same grape, same process. But try to chew this wine, not gulp it straight away. Try to play it around a little. If it's stored in the stainless steel for all this time, doesn't matter. Mostly dry wines are the... Yeah, no problem.
You use stainless steel?
No.
You use oak as well?
We also do use oak, but not with the semi-sweets. Semi-sweet wines are always made in the stainless steel jars. Always. If anyone tells you, let's try my semi-sweet wine made in an oak, or clay, or plastic, or glass, don't drink it. It's going to be dry wine with sugar. Only possible way to make real semi-sweet wine, it's stainless steel jars. What do you think?
It's good. It's great.
I like this.
It's great. Yeah.
Great.
I like the second one.
Great.
Second one was also very.
Second one. And the best is still yet to come. After this, let's try the strongest. Yeah, and after that, let's try the most expensive. And then let's try the tequila tour. Yes. Yeah, we have it upstairs. Of the grapes, blend of those two that I think you're familiar with the both. To one you were introduced today, Saperavi. Yeah, remember it was here, here, and here. And another one is Muscat. Anyone heard about Muscat? Not the capital of Oman, no. the grape Muscat, yeah? Grape Muscat, which has different names all over the world. Maybe you heard Muscato, Muscadel also, yeah? It's the same grape, the sweetest grape, one of the sweetest grapes all over the world. In Georgia, it's the sweetest grape. So usually, stronger wine you're gonna have, sweeter grape you use in the winemaking process. Because sweetness turns into alcohol. More sweetness is there to be turned into alcohol, of course you're gonna have a stronger percentage of alcohol. If you make wine just from Muscat, and you don't mix it with Saperavi, your wine is going to be minimum 17% of alcohol. 16% of alcohol, minimum. And you won't be able to sell it as the semi-sweet wine. Anything over 15% of alcohol, you're already able to sell it as the dessert type of the wine, port wine, ice wine, or something like this, but not as the semi-sweet. If you want to sell it as the semi-sweet, you have to bring this percentage of alcohol lower than 15, make it less sweet, of course, less intensity of sweetness. And for that, we're using Saperavi that we used here, but not semi-dry or semi-sweet option of it, but dry. So it's a mix of dessert wine and dry wine, which gives us the result of 14% of alcohol, strongest amongst all, after the shot of Chacha. First, sweetest, by the way, it's also one of the sweetest, but at the end, the last note, by the help of this red dry wine that we use here, it gets dry. So it has a light note of dryness at the end. So let's see. Makes a huge difference when we're talking about the wine. 11, 14, it's a huge difference. Khvanchkara means a village, and wine which is not exported outside the country at all, called Khvanchkara, which is coming from the red region over here, region of Raja, where we grow two sorts of the grapes written under the title of Raja, Alexandrouli and Gujaratu. I know that you will never remember this, but I'm still telling you. So this village, where there's two of the most rare and the most expensive sorts of the grapes grow, is very small, one of the smallest villages, and one of the strictest harvest seasons go in that village. Imagine by telling the strictest harvest season, I mean that the Harvest season is going by the control of the military force and the police officers, who for 25 days control all the entrances to the region of Flaja. So no one is bringing any type of the grape that looks the same, has the same percentage of sweetness, but costs much cheaper, and mix it with this later, or take it outside the region to sell it for the high price. Because, for example, Sakherabi that we tried here, and here, price of the kilogram of the Sakherabi as the grape, not as the juice, it's 1 lari and 50, 60 tetri, which is like 70, 80 cents in dollars for Sakherabi that we tried here. And for the both of the grapes used in this bottle, one is $3.5, one is $4.5, $4.6. So 8-9 times more expensive sorts of the grapes to start with, and then and the bottle is 3 times more expensive than the average prices of the bottle. Yeah, so it's not, once again, not exported outside the country. Only stays in Georgia. If you want to drink this luxury wine, you have to come back and drink it here. That's the point. Okay, let's try. Yeah, and let's see. If you translate the name, it means nameless. U is a negative form of a word in Georgian, and Sakheli it's name. So U Sakhelori, it means nameless. Yeah. So okay. And what do you think? Very nice.
That is why it's premium.
Drier than this, of course. We can try very dry, less dry. Very dry. Very dry.
Tried that.
Which one?
The second one.
This one is Khvanchkara.
Cool.
Khvanchkara.
Why you're not like sending those Khvanchkara outside
It's
Georgia?
very limited and demand is very high, and because we're not able to fulfill that demand, that's the point.
Thank you.